You guys have been asking, and I've been listening. The all-new Traeger Irontop review. Alrighty, before this video even starts, I got some stuff to get out of the way. So I've had this griddle since October of last year. It's kind of like mid-June now. So definitely had it a while. That's why I've held off on my review. I did get the griddle for free. It's $5.99. I don't think it's going to change my opinion. It shouldn't change my opinion. I've had several free things from other companies, and it's never changed my opinion. And Traeger has no idea what I'm even going to say about this video. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I have any links. Do we have links, descriptions, or anything like that? Like, I don't even know if you can buy it through anything that I sell for the links or anything like that. And it's not a paid video. We've been working on this bad boy since, like I said, October. So there are some cooks that I've done on that you guys haven't seen because we've been like beta tasting it and all that other stuff. But I've kind of like held back my review until I really got a hold on. And what you're going to see now is a series of multiple months put in place. And I'll show you that. Just in case you're wondering how long it takes to put a griddle together, Traeger's got this cool little beer guide. So 1 beer down, 6 more to go. I think we should be able to get it done faster than that. Just depends on how fast you drink. You should be feeling pretty good by now. Read the directions carefully because I installed the shelf on the wrong side, which is pretty common when I read. That's why it takes a 12-pack, not a 6-pack. And the handle's on wrong. There's 2 ways to put the handle on. You would think it'd be 1 way, which is the right way. I put it upside down because now I see established 1987. Right on 5 o'clock, we're gonna let it warm up for about 10 minutes on low, and then we'll do the bread test. All right, exactly 10 minutes later, we're just gonna shoot the gun right in the middle. So starting here, let's see what we got here. So 350 to 325, roughly through there, right in the middle. Might have been 10 degrees hotter right there. And then on the top, so you're talking about maybe 350 or less at the hottest spot, 10 minutes on low. And that's what I've always preached, man. If you can turn it on low and not really worry about it, that's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna do the world famous bread test just so we can see our hot spots. All it does is give us a visual representation of what the griddle's doing, right? Not everybody has an infrared gun. Some people just want to do it without, and the more you cook, the less you rely on stuff because you learn your spots. And I'm glad you're asking. No, this is not a waste of bread because this bread was going to be thrown away regardless. This is stale bread. Did I do something wrong? How come there's a half there? Boy, you talking about getting ripped off on a loaf. All right, roughly 10 minutes, give or take. It's not about timing. It's not about heat. You're just looking for spots. It's actually right 6 minutes. Didn't even make it to the 10-minute mark, which is fine because all you're doing is looking for color. Well, that is pretty good for the top level because that just goes to show you there's not even a cool top band. That's probably where we picked up the 350 at. It was right through here, this hot zone. Cool zone there, that's fine. We got a little hot patch right here. With all the griddles we've done, it looks like it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe right on top of those burners, it looks like. So that's probably standard. Let's say a B+. I think it's overall probably 85 to 90% even with just a little couple hot spatches here. But the spots are so cool that you don't have an area of hot. So in my thinking, without being prejudiced or people think I'm this or that, I think that's actually, you know, relatively good compared to what we've seen in other griddles. I still think the Flatrock is probably the most even, but that's not bad. That's really up there. That's probably, if you had a tier of most even griddles, that's probably going to put you up there in the top tier, if not at least high on the second tier. So that's not bad. It's pretty dang good, actually. I'm going to take the bread off and we'll do a temp check one more time. 21 minutes on low. Besides the bread, right there in the middle. So 440 was the highest, down to 400. That's getting up there in the, probably what I've done on the deck. If I was being honest, that's probably tied with number 2 when it comes to low temperatures. 433, 440. So that's a little hot right there, which that's what the bread showed. And then that top level looked pretty good. But in retrospect, I don't know who's going to turn on the griddle and just leave it alone for 20 minutes on low. Now, I talk about walking away and all that other stuff, and you don't want it to climb excessively. I think 20 minutes would be excessively. I'm just talking about going inside, you know, and all that stuff. Once you add food down, we've learned it lowers the temperature of the griddle. But, you know, I would say that that's right on par with like a B+, A- when it comes to a griddle. So overall, so far, very impressed. A little more, definitely more cooking to do, but on the right track. With that being said, I'm just going to quickly go over some of the features and then give you my thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. So, as you can see right here, it's got 4 caster wheels. We always start from the bottom. I happen to like that because I feel like it's super easy for me to move. You guys might think I'm crazy, but all 4 of these wheels actually lock, and I think that's a good thing. Moving right up, some changes. You guys can see right here, it's got a shelf on the bottom. A lightweight shelf, you know, obviously you're not going to put a 150-pound anvil down there, but, you know, for your storage racks, your little, I know a lot of times people want to bring stuff out to the griddle and use like a little storage system. Perfect for that. Propane tanks off to the side. It's a little easier to get to than the Flatrock. I really like that. Moving right up, we got the shelves. We got 2 shelves. This one does not fold down because obviously you have your propane tank there. However, the other one does fold down, and so that saves you on storage. As you can see right here, we got the pop and lock system. So we got one side here, one side here. If you're not familiar with pop and lock, it's very common on the Traegers, whether it be the griddles or the smokers. And it's an accessory line they came out with. You just pop it in place. They have paper towel holders, they have utensil holders, and of course they have a storage container just like this one. You got some stuff at full whatever you want to. 3 utility hooks here, 3 utility hooks there. You can hang whatever you desire off of those bad boys. So far they haven't gotten in the way. They do their job just like they're intended to. Moving right up, we have built-in wind guards. You can see right here we got little peek holes because that can show you that your flame is on. And on the sides it is 100% protected, so that way you don't have to worry about your wind coming in. And unique design is the fact that it's not recessed in like the Flatrock. It is recessed up, but it does have wind guards, so that is a good sign there. With 4 independent burners, you have to click each one of them on, each one of them off. And I'll show you the gut system really quick. The 4 independent burners, like I said, they do not have the cross bracing underneath. They feel like they don't need to have it for warping, and I have not had a single problem. This thing is heavy as sin. Hopefully we're past that. It's year through 2026. But right there is a little grease trap chute. I forgot to mention that. We can hit that really quick. Nothing fancy about the inside. Missed my mark by a mile. All right. When it comes to the grease chute, completely different. I will just show you. We can talk about it later. Basically, the grease comes down here. You got a little bucket knob there, and your grease comes down here. This bucket's a little bit bigger than what came with it, but I exchange them out all the time, and this fits my my Traeger pellet grill, so I just have one size. When it comes to temps, you guys saw what the bread test did. Now, this does come rust resistant. There's some type of coating on there to begin with, but you do need to season it. In the video, you guys saw that I washed it down with soap and water, cleaned that, dried it, turned it on, and then we did the seasoning process. First and foremost, I would like to say that this griddle, like the Flatrock, which could be the reason why I like the Flatrock so much, this surface is uniquely different. There's not another manufacturer out there that rocks this type of surface, and I think it's a benefit for them. You guys can call me crazy or call me normal, whatever. I feel like whatever they've done to their surface makes this bad boy rock and roll, and I feel like it eliminates the chips, the flaking, a lot of the rust. I haven't had any issues at all in 3 years with my Flatrock. They told me that they have followed the same mentality, the same design, the same craftsmanship on this that they have the Flatrock. I don't know what that secret is. I didn't ask. I just know that it is a bear to season. And I'm not going to argue with you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It takes a couple more coats of seasoning than you typically would think on other griddles. But once you get there, you don't change your method of how you season it. You just got to put a couple more coats down. This thing is rough when you get it. In my mentality, I hope somebody can prove me wrong, because I truly feel like this. I mentioned it several times in the past. Somebody out there's got to be a lot smarter than me about this. This is what I feel like. I can't do a graph because I don't know how to edit that well. I feel like the peaks and valleys on this griddle are a lot deeper than another manufacturer or other manufacturers.
the surface.
Of the surface, correct. And as a result, I think it takes more layers of seasoning to break even to make it smooth. As a result, since you are creating more deeper layers, and since you have the valleys that are strong of metal, you got to remember this is microscopic, right? Your griddle top does not look like this. Then I think it creates a stronger bond, and over time, your griddle seasoning does not wear down. Now, like I said, call me crazy. I just feel like it's once you get it primed and seasoned, it's almost like effortlessly to keep it polished and ready to go. We did find that through 6 to 8 months of cooking on it, I haven't done anything. This is exactly what it looks like. I've cooked on it this week. I didn't even really clean it up that much for the video because I wanted to show you the true nature of what the griddle top looks like without going through the bells and whistles, clean it, make it look like it's fresh. Because honestly, this is good enough for me, and this is how to keep it for the week. So that's how I did it. And of course, the one thing that's missing, you guys can clearly see, is the lid. Once we started filming and posting videos versus just filming, doing overlays and testing and all that stuff, I took the lid off. But the lid is like standard, right? You're not going to use it during heat. It's just there for more protection. It's just a metal lid that hinges down, hinges up, and it's good to go. It does actually hang off the back a little bit more than others, so it does give you more space to cook with, which I think is a cool design. So if you could just show it like this really quick. Instead of your hood going like this and closing off some of your area, it really extends back to the back, and it really opens it up, and I like that. You guys get that? That's kind of cool.
That's a really high-tech visual.
That's how I like it.
That's a really high-tech visual there.
All right, some of the pros, some of the cons. So I mentioned the surface, everything from eggs, from bacon. We've done breakfast on it. We've done My Yard Reaction with the sear. It's got a really good low. It's got a really good high. I do find, if you guys are looking at me, so I would be cooking right here, right? And she would be filming for where I'm at. There are some hot patches here, 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 and here. What I found is when it's on low, it's not really that much noticeable. There's not a lot of bleed over. It doesn't really carry over. When it gets hot, it still doesn't necessarily do it. I do find that this line right here, just about even with your grease trap, gets a little bit hotter. But the rest of the griddle seems to stay pretty even in temp. So it's kind of unique design. We feel like most griddles have their own unique heating patterns, whether it be the edges or whatever, but the edge to edge on this is pretty even. And I don't know if I like it, but I'm starting to get used to it. Each griddle is different, but I almost kind of like it because it gives you like a little high-end heat on the bottom, little sear patch, and you can move stuff around. The good news is about that is it doesn't translate all over the griddle, right? You're not getting right up the burner where this whole side right here is hot, this whole line right here is hot, the whole line right here is hot. And depending on if you call it a plus or a minus, I think one of the major benefits is when you look at the Flatrock on the price, this is cheaper. You're getting a 4-burner versus a 3-burner. Like I said, you're getting the same griddle top. So when you try to compare apples to apples, it's not really fair. I do feel like the Traeger is built different. However, you can't deny the fact of how the heating is, along with the edge to edge. So for the price point, for looking in the griddle market, I think this firmly solidifies itself. That's a big word. Solidifies itself in the market for like an entry-level style griddle. I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
What is the price?
What is it? $5.99. But that's without deals or Father's Day, Black Friday, and I know they go through a lot of companies like Ace, and all that stuff. So if you guys can find a deal on it, definitely. But I just think it's a really good griddle for what you get out of it. And just like that, the video is done. Hopefully that was just about as painless as it seemed. But honestly, like I said, I love the surface. I fell in love with the Flatrock from day one, and this has the same surface, so we have a lot of high hopes for this. As always, if you guys are interested, hit that join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Last but not least, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share with your friends. Peace. I think what I want to do, is I'll gather some griddles up. I got some stuff in storage, and I might do like a more recent like griddle pros and cons and all that stuff, so you guys can see all the new ones coming out, and create a video like that. So if you guys want to see that, just comment below.